Call the council to hold a meeting Tuesday, April 15, 2025, to order at 7:03 p.m. All members from council and the administration are present. Council clerk is absent. If there's anyone reporting this meeting is occurring to the public, please identify your fellow employees for the note of being recorded. For the record, CDB is recording this meeting. Representative Troy, I think you'd like to address anything.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mayor, members of council. The reason I wanted to stop by here is because on May the 6th, I know there's probably some interest in the election that day for supporting the room, but there's also a lot of interest in state now because we have a renewal of the Ohio Public Works Commission program. This is a program that I actually was one of the co-sponsors way back in the last century when it was first created. It's been renewed by the voters 4 different times, and what it will be is state issue 2 on the ballot on May the 6th. There is no more state issue 1. There is no issue 1 on the ballot. The reason is we changed the law last year. Everybody's been confused the last couple of years because we've had so many issue 1s on the ballot. Which issue 1 is this? Do I vote yes for this? Do I vote no for this? So we decided, I guess that comes California, so we're going to consecutively number those. So the next state issue, you'll see whatever that pops up will be issue number 3, and we go on up to that. But state issue 2 has been very beneficial to the city of Eastlake. And I have that sheet here. I'll give to the council president, and you can disseminate it to the other folks here. But since the inception of the program, the city of Eastlake has received $4.54 million in grants on the street at the state capital improvements program, and $2.126 million in loans. These are zero interest loans. You also have received emergency funding at one time for the St. Lawrence Outfall Sewer Project, for the Plymouth and Quentin Storm Outfall Emergency Repair, and the Apple Drive Emergency Force Main Replacement. And also under the LJET program, which is our street and bridge improvements, we received $2.733 million. So what we have received, the city of Eastlake over the years, is somewhere in the neighborhood of $8 million. And this is money that comes directly from the state of Ohio. Obviously, there are matching funds sometimes with these projects, but these are dollars. This issue of the ballot is not a tax increase. It's a bond issue. It permits the state of Ohio. The current program permits the state of Ohio, which expires on July 1st, 2025, $2 billion over a 10-year period, or $200 billion a year. We know that inflation has hit the cost of infrastructure repair. So the proposal that myself and State Representative Scott Oberschlager, Republican member from Canton, we were the joint sponsors of HJR 7, which put this on the May ballot. It will be $2.5 billion, or $250 million a year for each of the next 10 years. The program has been one of the best ideas the state of Ohio has ever had. Certainly, we need to continue that. This will all be paid for under the existing revenues of the state of Ohio. Our constitutional debt limit is 5%. We are currently at about 2.4%. And obviously, these bonds will be retired. So we're fine. We're fiscally sound and able to underwrite this for the next 10 years. The other good thing about this program is the decisions on what projects get funded are not made at Columbus. They are made right at the local level. In Lake County, it starts right at the local committee conducted by the county engineer's office. I believe there's 7 representatives on that, 2 of the commissioners, the county engineer, representatives of the cities, the villages, and the townships. They score the project within Lake County, and then they go to what's called the District Integrating Committee, which is District 7, which is made up of Lake, Geauga, Portage, and Ashtabula counties, and then that group decides and scores those projects and all that. But over the years, every community in Lake County has received funding out of this program, including the village of Lakeline, received money early in the program to convert from septic sewers. Again, it's been very beneficial. I'm going to give you a list to pass around the council and show all the projects that have been funded over the years in the city of East Lake. Again, these are dollars that come from the state of Ohio. These are dollars that you do not have to come up with through your local general fund or through your road levies, et cetera. So I certainly would encourage you to encourage your residents to get out there, vote on May the 6th, and also to support issue 2. I know it's confusing. Some people say, well, it's not an issue. It's another tax increase. No, it's not one of those. We all know that property taxes are a real issue, and certainly we're trying to address that in Columbus. I get a little frustrated about our inability to do that while we take care of professional football owners in the budget, but that's another situation that we're going to have to address. So that's where we're at. We just passed a budget in the House last week. I guess in terms of any good news, as told the councilwoman there, we increased the local government fund share, which is 1.7% of all state revenues, all the way up to 1.75%. So don't spend it all in one place. I don't know how much you get out of that, but again, that's where we're at. There's a lot of big issues. Obviously, we're dealing with the school funding formula. I know I've heard a lot from the local East Lake School Superintendent fiscal people the last 2 weeks regarding the proposal they put in there to require the Budget Commission to roll back any surplus revenues. I think it's a very ill-conceived and not properly vetted idea, but again, the budget does not have to be passed till July the 1st, so we're hoping that there will be some sanity in the Senate to take a harder look at some of these things that just pop up at the last minute. So that's it, Mr. President. Members of council, just want to update you on this, and I'll give you a copy of that. Give a copy of the mayor there, so I've covered both branches, so judicial branch. All right, any questions on anything? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Keep up the good work here.
Okay, move on to legislation proposed. It is legislation number 041501, resolution authorizing the mayor, director of finance to accept a donation for the concert series from Key Bank for a total of $7,000, declaring an emergency. Michelle?
Yes, they're willing to give us $7,000 towards the concert, so we have to do that.
Any questions for the finance director? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 041502, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to apply for and accept a CARE grant in the amount of $13,856.08 and declaring an emergency.
Okay, so we get a DARE grant every year. This is like an estimate as to approximately what we will be receiving by the end of the year.
Any questions for the finance director? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 041503, ordinance to reappropriate expenses of the city of East Lake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2025, and December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Michelle?
Thank you. That's just to add expenses so that we can spend the DARE grant money. There's a little bit more than the DARE grant, but that's because a lot of times at the end of the year we get a little additional. And I'd like to be able to expend the entire DARE grant. Obviously, if we don't get the money in, we don't spend it, but it's just really to spend the DARE grant money.
Any questions for the finance director? All right, seeing none. All right. Council of the whole committee meeting adjourned at 7:00. Call the regular council meeting of April 2025 to order at 12 p.m. Mr. President, we will leave the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. call the roll.
Mr. Kasunik? Here. Mr. Belli? Here. Ms. Graniak?
Here.
Ms. Schmidt?
Here.
Mr. Dillon?
Here.
Here, and Mr. Myers.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of April 15th, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Summey, please call the roll.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ms. Dillon?
Yes.
Mr. Summey? Yes. And Mr. Myers.
Yes. The motion carried, the agenda is approved. We're going to hold the approval of the minutes until the next council meeting. Actually, change that. Our next scheduled council as a whole committee is scheduled for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following adjournment of the council as a whole committee meeting. We have a motion. Mr. Shelley?
I move that we approve the liquor license number 4242546 from Game Arena LLC to JS Vine LLC located at 3332931 Vine Street, Eastlake.
Anybody have any questions on the motion? Transfer?
It's just a transfer.
Just a transfer, right? Okay. What? I know, I understand it. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Sundby, please call the roll.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ms. Dillon?
Yes.
Mr. Summey? Yes. And Mr. Myers.
Yes. Motion carried, transfer is approved. Move on to committee reports.
Yeah, we're going to tonight, we went over several items, especially, we're gonna have another one next week, to go over it again, and that'll be in order.
Any questions for Mr. Sundby? Seeing none, we'll move on to recognition of the public. The floor is now open for recognition of the public. Remind speakers all remarks will be directed to the chair that I have all personalities. And limited to 3 minutes per person, 7 minutes total. Is there anyone who wishes to address council? Seeing no one, we'll move on to legislation proposed. Councilman Sundby, will you please read legislation number 041501?
Legislation 041501, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation for the concert series from Key Bank for a total of $7,000 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and reading in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Vice President, please call the roll.
Mr. Summey? Yes. Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vice President, please call the roll.
Mr. Summey? Yes. Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
And Mr. Myers?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will Vice President please read legislation number 04-15-02?
Legislation 041502, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to apply for and accept a DARE grant in the amount of $13,856.08 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will Vice President please call the roll?
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Summey? Yes. Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second?
Second.
Will Vice President please call the roll?
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Graniak?
Yes.
Mr. Kasunik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Summey? Yes. And Mr. Myers?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will Vice President please read legislation number 041503?
Legislation 041503, an ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the city of East Lake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2025, and ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule require separate reading and reading the full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the Vice President please call the roll?
Ms. Kreniak?
Yes.
Ms. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kasulik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic, yes, and Mr. Myers.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the Vice President please call the roll?
Ms. Kreniak?
Yes.
Ms. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Kasulik?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic? Yes. And Mr. Myers.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. We don't have any legislation pending, we don't have any unfinished business, and we have no new business. We'll move on to our administrative reports. The first report is from our Mayor and Safety Director, Jim Olson.
I do not have anything of importance to report at this time, and I am open for questions.
Are there any questions for the mayor? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll move on to our fire chief, Ted Lacy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to update everybody, so I think we're about halfway through the promotional process. And knocking on wood, everything's going very, very smooth. I would ask, if you would be gracious enough to, May 13th, we should have everything in place. So I would like to maybe have the new chief get sworn in on May 13th at a council meeting. Obviously, it's a pretty big deal, it's family being there and that type of thing. So if it's okay, I can, get that date secured with you guys and do the ceremony and swear them in. And my last time in the books would be May 17th, so we could assume that role on the 18th. So, get sworn in early, we'll take that on that Sunday. But on that, no questions.
Is there any questions for the chief? Okay, I just have something to the clerk.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our police chief, Michael Warren.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I won't be as brief as the previous two. As you guys know, we did get a partial award, for the, Body One camera grant. We were awarded just over $50,700. I applied for, I believe, about $176,000. So we only got, partial funding on that. The original project we looked at, body cameras and in-car cameras, was right around $248,000. So after looking at our award, we looked at cutting out the in-car cameras, and that would save us about $100,000 in cost. So we may just move forward with the body cameras, and that would put the burden on the city at roughly $100,000 over 5 years, as opposed to closer to $200,000. I'm going to be wrapping up the pre-award conditions in the next couple of days, and we'll move forward with that process. The next Gen 911, we are still looking at updating the dispatch systems. I'm hoping to kind of get that in motion within the next month or two. The vendor I'm looking at there has actually come down a little bit on their quote for us. So they're working with us. Hiring, we made 2 more conditional offers to lateral candidates. So that will bring us to a total of 6 new hires since January. And that will put us at our budgeted staffing when they do come on, which probably be early May. And we'll be at our budgeted amount for a couple of days, officers as well as officially off the books. But that gets us closer to where I want us to be. I'm still looking at possibility of getting full-time SROs in the schools. And for next school year, I had talked with the Board of Education about that and get preliminary numbers on how much of that cost they would take on. So we'll keep you guys apprised of that. And finally, council people who have awards up on Vine Street, we are also getting a different side streets to avoid the traffic, so we will have an increased presence up in that area as we can. And, other than that, what's
Any questions for the chief? Ms. Schmidt?
So the full-time SROs in the schools, I thought we had that for some reason.
we have utilized that position as an outside job.
Okay.
So with East Lake Middle and North High School, Board of Education wants 3 SROs to fill those positions. So we've used it as an outside job, so we have part-time officers. Our full-time officers can work it on their days off. Right now, we have Little League officers, Timberlake officers, Little League officers filling in because we don't have an interest from our part-time officers to fill. I have interest from full-time guys who will work it as a full-time position. And that's kind of what Willoughby does. A lot of other agencies have it as a full-time position. Board of Education would prefer to have that consistency in the school, have the same officers in the school. My vision for those 3 positions would be a full-time position at the middle school, a full-time position at North, and then that 3rd position could be an outside job, filled with everybody else.
And then who pays for it right now? Is it a split cost between?
No, so right now, the Board of Education pays for the hours that the officer is there. So in my discussion with them, it's basically breaking down the entire school year into, 40-hour work weeks, minus their holidays and stuff. And that would roughly be about 1,650 hours of the standard 2080. They would cover that.
Doesn't that pull them from your department? Doesn't that pull people from or they're specifically hired for that? Because doesn't that pull them, brings your count down?
Well, that's where I would hope to replace those positions.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
Yeah, and eventually I want to get to a point where I can have at least 5 guys on each shift, and minimum manpower of at least 3. I'm in a place right now where I can have at least 4 on each shift, and with a couple extra, I would be able to put the SROs in the schools, but I would work with, Michigan Bell and look at the finances to see, if the schools are paying 75% of the salary, and we would have that officer through the summer also. But want to look at the logistics of how much extra it would cost to backfill those positions on the road.
Any other questions?
Yeah, and I just wanted to reiterate, because I think it's really important, dealing with the school system multiple times on issues, it's really good to have that consistency of the officers that are there, that can know the kids, know their histories, know their families. In the summertime, they are out on the street, so I'm for that. Where were the lateral transfers from? Can you say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So when it came on in January, it was from the Ogden County Parks. We also spent time in Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office. We got 3 recent ones. One from the Ogden County Sheriff's Office, one from Geneva on the Lake, and last one from Euclid.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Good.
Any other questions? Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Move on to our chief building official statement.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Ms. Stelnick for the ordinance committee meeting tonight. And, hopefully I can see the 2 topics I talked about, to move forward. That's it.
Any questions for Mr. Mayor?
You corrected that, Miss is the miss.
I don't know, what else?
Something kind of answer no.
She probably would have reached out to you. Thanks, Mr. Wynn. We'll move on to our service director, Rob Burns.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple things. The asphalt plant is open and supplying asphalt now, so we will be making some better repairs to the roads as we can. That's good news. The other good news is the spray park features, that Surfside Spray Park, will be installed this week. The features will be done. We're still waiting to get the final concrete and walnut restoration done. And if that's a project, other than that, I'm looking for questions.
Are there any questions from the service director?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for providing me the road.
We'll do our best to get what we can done.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to our city engineer, Brian Mowich.
Thank you, Mr. President. Vine Street construction is in full swing now with building operations. Working to get a schedule from ODOT and contractors so that I can update, when we expect that to be complete. But they are moving and, should be moving at a quick pace. So just application, while things are moving and it's new to everybody's system this spring, and hopefully they can get in and out really quickly. So with that, I'm open for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Mowich?
Sorry, I do have one question for you. It's more a concern that I'm hearing, Lloyd. On Vine Street going east, okay, right before 91, where it switches, where the one lane, middle lane now has to go north on 91? Right? Yeah. That is cardinal direction. Is there a way that there could be a sign that's moved up so that people are aware of that down the 2 lanes there earlier? Because it seems like as you're coming up on 91, it's just kind of hits you right away and people are trying to move. It's just so short notice that people are having a hard time making that adjustment. Is that possible?
I'll talk to the ODOT engineer and see if they can have additional signage or get a board.
That would be great. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sorry, go ahead.
When you final update it just before our next meeting, would you email us?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mowich. We'll move on to our finance director, Carolyn Sheehan.
Thank you, the auditors are still here. I expect them to be here for another several weeks. That concludes my report.
Any questions from the finance director? Seeing none, we'll move on to our law director, Randy Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. President. We did have that ordinance committee meeting tonight, it was to compliment our council people, so the residents know how hard they work. This is the packet I got from one councilwoman, already had posted notice. But Councilman Schmidt outdid her with color-coded posted notice. So I did it, but for the residents, you guys take it seriously, you can put work in. That being said, we're going to make those amendments. One of the things on the agenda for the ordinance committee was the Airbnb. So it would make sense for me to remind the residents and property owners now that our ordinances already prohibit any rental less than 30 days. And although we don't have a criminal penalty necessarily, we do have a $100 a day fine and the ability for council to ask me to pursue injunctions. So it's already prohibited, so